What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the right side of the map in the red color, playing as Odin. His name is TheRapl. TheRapl indeed. His opponent today in the blue color playing as Poseidon. His name is Ed Sheeran fan, also known as SteveWasHere. The map is a watering hole, and this is the Challengers League. It's a best of 3, however, due to Steve getting here slightly late, we had to award Rapl a 1 victory advantage. The way it works for those of you playing at home is if you're 20 minutes late to a game, you will be losing 1 game for it. We are very much on a tight schedule and we can't have those kind of delays. Unfortunately, Steve could not get here in time and you have to give him that punishment. So unfortunately, do have to miss out on that game. They might want to play it off stream or something like that, but whichever. I don't think it'll matter. Rapl here, playing the Odin, picking his home map. Not only do you go down to 1, you also lose your home map. So Rapl gets to pick this map here, picking Odin on Watering Hole against Poseidon. It's an interesting matchup. This is one of my more favorite matchups as well, like a Norse versus Poseidon, because there's no centaur abuse, or very little centaur abuse from the Poseidon. This thing is Zeus has that advantage over, say, Odin and Thor. And also, there's no real Athena all-ins that Poseidon's got. You can do an Ares attack, but it's very defendable. So I'm interested to see what comes of this from both of these players. And not only that, Odin has a slight advantage given he has a lone wanderer technology, in that he can just go Ulfsark here and deal with any sort of Hippocon army from the Poseidon. So we'll see if that becomes a thing or not. We've got some relics on the map to look at because we always like looking at them. We've got the Thundercloud Shawl up here, 5% Pierce Vulnerability. A very good relic for the Norse player to grab. It's not that important for the Greek player, but you want to keep it away from it if you can. We've also got up here in this corner the Sistrum of Bast. Incredibly good relic. I love this one, and if I ever see it, it's a must get. Making those villages nice and cheap makes me very, very happy. Villagers moving up onto this hunt. Some nice hunt here for Ed Sheeran fan. You can see he's got 9 villagers on food right now. And his lure's already been expired, but he did get 1 elephant to be grabbed in here. So that's a big bit of food there for sure. Only 3 villagers on wood right now. So this is looking... I can't exactly put my finger on this one from Ed Sheeran fan from Steve. It could be potentially any sort of shenanigans, any sort of build here. I would assume it would have been some sort of aggressive thing because there's so many villagers on food, but who knows? Is he getting upgrades? Nope. Not sure. Hermes is the god of choice. Rapl's going up through Freya here. Already putting these houses up. So it's okay building placement, but you're not really protecting too much here from doing this. I like that he's thinking about it, but what I prefer to do is block this location here with the houses. Walls around these sentry towers. Leave this open here, because if he wants to run through here, he's going to be taking town center fire, and you want to sort of block off here as well to make it a little bit less, a little bit more difficult to come through and hit this. We've also got these rhino in the back here, which is awesome. Ooh, gazelle. It's going to be okay. Sometimes you shoot a gazelle right next to a tree and you get some unlucky shenanigans going on there. Anyways, house coming up. We've got 6 villagers on food for Steve, and also 6 villagers on wood on 2 separate trees to combat the flaming weapons. Not flaming weapons, the forest fire. The raven coming in now. We're flying overhead, looking for something to hit. Centaur comes out of the temple. And moving out now. The villager's moving forward, looking like he's going to grab this town center. I like that, right on top of the elephant here. We'll see if Rapl can do anything, because he's going straight for the 2 longhouses. Generally speaking, you don't see Norse players rushing a second town center, because if they do get spotted by anything, it's generally pretty bad. for them. So the double longhouse into Ulfsark spam, into raiding cavalry. RapL with the raiding cavalry. Very interesting indeed. Villagers now moving over onto the Gazelle here. 2 longhouses, not really enough to make these raiding cavalry do anything, but you want to get 3 longhouses out if you can, and then you're kind of okay to spam. I much prefer to get medium cavalry out when I go for raiding cavalry, but we just see a forest fire here. Is that in range? It is in range. He's going to be able to delay this town center slightly. That's cute. That's very cute. And then the raiding cavalry are going to come in, but I don't know if he's going to be able to stop this one, or maybe be able to force a ceasefire would be the option that he really wants. Going to jump onto that centaur there. The sound center has been really well prevented here. Needs to bring in some of those Herser to pick off that centaur. We do have a Theseus here. Valkyrie almost gets picked off. The centaur just about to get picked off as well. Nice micro from RapL here. And there is the ceasefire. That is huge for RapL because that gives him a free frost later in the game, whereas that ceasefire would normally counter the frost. So that's going to be gigantic in the later stages of the game. And now, what does RapL want to do? It's looking like he's probably going to go for his own second town center. We've seen he's cancelling the longhouses from producing. He's got 3 Herser. I'd like to see him grab the back town center here. This town center does get him access to these elephant, but it's just a little bit of a place where Poseidon can attack. You're actually asking for an attack, for being attacked there, on like a fortress in the middle of the map, and then kill this, or like full cavalry or something like that could be brutal. So sitting here and going to be starting to get this one up. Hopefully he can. We do see walls coming up in this location here to prevent the raiding cavalry from pushing through, but they will not be able to get through there. So nice little wall shenanigans here. I like that. This is reminiscent of Age 2, is it not? Quick walling, it's a thing. It just prevents that from being a problem there. Town center now is up for Ed Sheeran fan. 3 stables for Ed Sheeran fan though. Not going for any Toxotes. There's lots of food, so it's totally fine. But the problem he's going to run into is definitely going to be gold. There's no pickaxe. It's being grabbed just yet. Random Hippolyta chilling in the base there, just defending against potential Valkyrie raids or something like that. Town center is just about up for RapL, and he's going to be starting that raiding cavalry production as well. If we check out the resources for both players, Ed Sheeran fan, nice healthy amount of food there to produce from 2 town centers. RapL enough to start the gatherer production. Jumping onto this elephant, you can use the army to help pick it off. You even have these hippopotamus here. This is actually this town center is even better than I thought it was initially, because there's elephant in the back, there's hippopotamus in the front that you can jump onto. These villagers are going to make their way back into the home to eat these rhinoceros as well. It's just so much hunt for the Norse player here, and this map is looking very good for him. He's going to be super stoked at this point, and we've already seen that Steve is on his pigs right now. Does he have husbandry? No husbandry. On pigs without husbandry is like being on farms without plow. You just don't do it. You don't do it. It's worth it to just not have built this stable and got the husbandry there. Anyways, the raiding cavalry moving back as Ed Sheeran fan is on his way. The Poseidon, Steve. Can't deal with him not having Steve as his name here. But choosing to fight this, does lose 1 raiding cavalry. Town center does a little bit of chip damage away at that Hippocon. Nice little play there from Steve there. And the house now coming up for RapL, keeping those going on. Still pumping those villages. Making dwarves here. Maybe going onto the gold mine. He does have another ox cart. Would like to see more gatherers going onto that, and then dwarves coming out of this town center onto this gold mine, and then coming over here would have been a bit better. Now Hippocon coming in there, we'll be able to bash through this wall. RapL's playing very defensive right now, which I do like. It's very good, and especially with these walls here. And now the Hippocon going to be trying to slide through. There is a gap in this whole kit and caboodle, and the Hippocon are going to come through and try and greet the doors, but they can just go here. He doesn't care about this side of the map at all. Like, he doesn't need to go over there. It was a nice place, but not when there's Hippocon there. Raiding cavalry are going to be chasing them down as well. 6 speed versus the 5 speed, and there's no escape for these guys. So these Hippocon are essentially dead if TheRapl can find them. So Ed Sheeran fan, he's found the house. He may be able to take that one down, but then he's going to lose every one of these Hippocon, it looks like, and that's going to be gigantic. These are medium raiders as well, so they're bulky as all hell. They have 20% hack armor compared to the 20%, or so 20% hack armor compared to the 10% hack armor of the Hippocons. So they tank a lot more damage than you would think, given they also have 115 HP as well. That's effectively more HP against the Hippocon. What is the 20 hack armor means they've got an effective 2. I can't do this math, but actually yes I can. Let's do it. 20 HP more, 22 HP more than the Hippocon, because they do 10 damage. 20% would take down 2. Takes 20 hits. No, takes 10 hits, 11 hits, 12 hits. Boom. Most of the hips died there. Did get out though, and TheRapl's in a great position here. Needs to show down an armory or something to continue up to the next age here. Hippocon getting picked off in the bottom here as well. We are seeing another stable coming up for Ed Sheeran fan, still playing, still producing nicely. There is the Dionysus for Ed Sheeran fan. That's looking dangerous, but you do have to remember that Ed Sheeran fan, he does not have access to Ceasefire here, but maybe some Hydras here might help him out quite a bit, and also the Prodromus. So hopefully he's got the food income to produce Prodromus here. As I'm looking, it's kind of looking like he doesn't. He's got 1 rhino left. There's some hippos here that he could potentially eat. So we'll see if he does that. And he's jumping onto wood right now. So maybe going into like a fortress, couple of fortress or something like that. I don't know, but TheRapl's playing nice here. He's not doing much with his advantage, which is, this is a big thing, because he's got such an advantage in the army size here. He could have pushed off this gold mine easily, done a lot, but he is picking off a lot of these units from Steve, who is retreating now. But this wall's going up. Can you finish the wall? He's going to try. He throws up a temple here to piled block, and then he'll finish off this wall as well. And these Hippocon are yet again all going to die. He doesn't even try and take down the wooden wall, and the Hippocon are getting chased down. No damage done. Absolutely huge for TheRapl, who's gone through to the Hurricanes, through Skadi as well. So even if Steve gets out a bunch of these Hydra, which are looking like he's not doing, it's not going to be enough. We do see a 3rd town center coming up now for Steve, but Frost Giants are going to be out, so it's going to be like siege weapons going to be killing him. And if we look at TheRapl's favorite situation, he's got 45. He's already got resources to go to the Mythic Age. I wouldn't be surprised to see an early tier here. An early tier could be huge at pushing off this location. You get 1 wolf pack here, you move in with a hill fort, and it can be absolutely gigantic given how much damage he's done. Alternatively, just going for Balder here, it's a risky move. It's definitely risky, because if Ed Sheeran fan, which he's got so much wood income right now, spams a bunch of military buildings everywhere, then those are effectively hoplite, which are really good. And maybe I would have slowed down the Ragnarok here. But 2 town center, fast rag from TheRapl, awfully all in. We'll see if it works out for him. He doesn't have to click Ragnarok straight away though. He doesn't have to. He can get up the hill fort, and get out some Balder Rams, and then click the Ragnarok a little bit later after he gets this 3rd town center. We do see him building it up now. How are the armory upgrades looking? He's got no armory upgrades either. So taking down this fortress here is going to be no problem. Well, there will be a problem actually with the units coming over with the Hydra. There's no Frost Giant here, which I thought there was. Must be chilling over here. He's picking off these Hippocon, no problems. And now it's looking like the hill fort's going to be denied potentially, as the Raiders doing some work. Throwing Axemen get pulled back to the town center, and these units jump straight onto that hill fort. And we do see the misclick from TheRapl on that Frost may haunt him for a long time there, because I could see he wanted that hill fort up. He wanted that Frost there, but he clicked, and he clicked up here instead of down here. I cannot explain that. Bronze comes down as well. Balder coming through for TheRapl. It's not out of the game yet, but that is big. That is big for Steve right now. He's got the walls up, the Petropolis coming out, more Hippocon flowing through, and we see the Ragnarok get cast. TheRapl sitting now at 263 population. No armory upgrades to speak of though. These are weak Ragnaroks, but there's Frost Giants out, there's a Fire Giant out, and these units are going to be pouring through here as this town center is getting awfully close to getting picked off, and he needs to pick off these Petropolis as fast as he can. Fortified town centers will come through clutch though and prevent that one from going down, so nice job with that technology there. We're going to be pushing through and taking down the Petropolis as well. Fire Giants in the back, killing everything. Ed Sheeran fan, 104 population. TheRapl, 255 or 245 population. Fortress about to go down, but the Politer does get out in time. Going to be able to snipe some heroes there, or at least attempt to snipe some heroes. The raiding or the Heroes of Ragnarok now aiming for this town center here, as he is pushing through all of his units here. Has a couple of raiders up the top hitting some nice raiding villages here. And Ed Sheeran fan taps out. GG. Well played by TheRapl. Potentially an early tap out there. Potentially spamming military buildings, losing this town center. Not the worst here, because you do have gold mines back here that are relatively well defended. No gold mines on both sides of the map, but he could have maybe been able to continue spamming military buildings as well and the like. But well played by TheRapl. Brilliant usage of the forest fire over here. Manages to take the town center or stop the town center forces. A ceasefire, and then all of the really smart trades playing defensive and just working towards the Ragnarok. So TheRapl gets his first win in the Challengers League, and that is that. So thank you so much for watching. We'll be moving on to the next series very soon for tonight. So stick with me and we'll get the next one on the way.